I might start my life in the East at an uninspiring T-junction with my cousin, the A267. But you could say I'm the backbone of Sussex. Except, of course, I go east to west, but that's a minor detail. A few miles west of my start at Poundford, I reach Piltdown, famous for the discovery of a human skull in 1912, which was believed to be the missing link between man and ape. But then along came more sophisticated scientific processes, and Piltdown Man, as he was known, was proven to be a hoax. To this day, no one knows for sure who the hoaxers were. Shortly after, I passed through the village of Newick, which sports a signpost which would have been a welcome sight for many of a pilgrim on their way to Canterbury, because I was part of that famous route, you see. A few miles further, and I passed close to Sheffield Park, famous for its house and the informal gardens laid out by a Mr. Brown in the 18th century. He was a very capable fellow by all accounts. Close by is Sheffield Park railway station, the start for the Bluebell line, the first full-gauge preserved steam railway in the whole of England, opening in 1960. Nowadays, they take passengers all the way up to East Grinstead, some 22 miles northwards. Old Dr. Beeching didn't get this one then. Leaving Sheffield Park, I crossed the Greenwich Meridian, although you never realise it at the time, and then on to the border between East and West Sussex. And then on I go into Haywards Heath. Oh, I love the congestion in its long High Street. The town is famous as the home of the Haywards Heath Movie Makers, a thriving amateur film making group that has been documenting local history and making fun films for more than 60 years. About 4 miles north of Haywards Heath is Wakehurst Place, which houses Kew Gardens Millennium Seed Bank. This is the largest plant conservation project in the whole wide world, and it focuses on global plant life that is threatened with extinction. In 2010, Haywards Heath Movie Makers made an award-winning film about the work being done there by these clever scientific types. And so I press on to my next stop, the quaint and tortuous village of Cuckfield. I used to go right through here, and I loved hearing the curses of the drivers as they negotiated my tight bends, often on the wrong side of my middle line. I don't know much about Cuckfield these days, as I was replaced by one of they bypasses. So I'll let Liz Woods, who was mayor in 2005, tell you the story.
Hello, I'm Liz Woods. I'm the current mayor of Cuckfield. The origination of the independent state of Cuckfield came about back in 1965. Prior to that, Peter and Phil Bowring, a couple that lived in Cuckfield and did an awful lot of work for the charities and fundraising in Cuckfield, used to hold donkey races. But unfortunately in 1965 the council decided to compulsorily purchase the playing fields. They decided that we couldn't carry on with the donkey racing, so Peter and Phil Bowring were absolutely disgusted and decided that as Rhodesia had just gained independence, Cuckfield would do the same. So hence the independent state of Cuckfield was born in 1965. Cuckfield actually has its own passport as well. This harks back to when they first started because of it being an independent state, and they produced stamps for letters, and I don't have any now, but they used to do money as well, so that because it started off with the pubs, they could actually use this money in the pubs as proper currency, but I think that died a death quite quickly.
Oh, so you're back with me then. Now, I'm going to show you the village of Shipley that has a windmill built in 1879 that is famous for being the largest in the county at the time. It was once owned by the poet Hilaire Belloc and was recently used by one of the TV companies as a backdrop to the detective series Jonathan Creek, starring that fellow Alan Davis. Shortly after Shipley, we reached Billingshurst. I was known hereabouts as Stane Street, and many a Roman soldier passed along my route. There are still a few ancient and historic buildings here today, alongside my ancient flanks. So I weave my way on to the ancient market town of Petworth. Oh, I have such fun here with my narrow streets and my sharp, confusing corners, making many a driver curse at me, I can tell you. Ha ha! Nestling in Sussex Golden Triangle, the town is rich with antique shops. And the adjacent countryside, which gave J.M.W. Turner much inspiration to paint his masterpieces. Indeed, at Petworth House can be seen the largest collection of Turners that are owned by the National Trust. And so I reached the last town of any note in Sussex, Midhurst. But before that, I meet up with one of my Surrey cousins, the A286. The town describes itself as being small but perfectly formed and one of the jewels of the lovely county of Sussex. Me and my cousin will take all the traffic through the High Street. Ha ha! and watch with glee the congestion at the bottleneck at the westerly end of the town. Here I am now at Durford Bridge. They built this for me in 1600 to replace a ford. So, from my humble start to my almost unseen end, I've made my mark on our county of Sussex. So, love me or hate me, I'm here to stay. So now I'm going to slip quietly away into Hampshire. See you next time.